I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to name the video Dr. Victor Gonzalez, child psychiatrist, medical malpractice. But medical malpractice didn't touch him. This man, what he did for 7 long years that he was told to do, is so sick. Anyway, I stopped the other video, went off at Cosmopolitan Health Spa. I'd gone back in time to I think it was 64. It was after, anyway, when he showed up with his wife, and I was the instructor there, and she was from Honduras and had just had a baby. He followed her around every step she took, and like a psychopath. And later, by the way, Dr. Kenneth Donald Reagan, who was run out of town because he signed the papers of what this doctor did, medical malpractice, he should have been put in jail for life, and that wouldn't have touched it. Instead, Dr. Kenneth Donald Reagan was run out of town, and he ended up in Pensacola, Florida. So the good guys run out of town. They got a buddy system you wouldn't believe. The letter from the FBI that I got was turned over to the medical that's supposed to help you, the state medical board. And then later, when I managed to go back after the antifreeze and all that and working for the DA, they grinned at me and said they lost the letter. So nothing was ever done. So if I'm rambling, you should follow my life and what's happened to me, and to Google back there and see how this man has lived, and his son has gone to medical school and finished and is in practice there, Victor Gonzalez, Jr. With all this going on about rape, about Bill Cosby, and et cetera, why has someone not focused on this man? There was a suit, if you call it settled, there was a seal put on it, a gag order. I did not know then what had really been done to me. I had done the book, MD, A License to Kill. I did not know what had been done to me. I knew that my attorney, EUGENE KAISER, was former DA of, District Attorney of Fulton County, Georgia. When I did the book, he represented me, and he represented me in that suit against Victor Gonzalez. And I look back now, and this whole thing had been staged from the beginning. EUGENE KAISER I liked. He gave me records that the police had come in and they had taken part of them, and it's almost like a prelude of what was happened to me. It was on Jean Strokerman. She had worked for a psychiatrist, and she'd been raped, and she was trying to do something about it. So she went to the one good man who was killed in this too, and I put this up on video. Robichaud, Jonas Robichaud, who was head of law and psychiatry at Emory University. He referred Jean Strokerman in her medical malpractice suit to my attorney, EUGENE KAISER. Well, in the book, The Power of Psychiatry, the last one I believe Dr. Robichaud wrote, he mentioned my 10 cases that I had in my book, MD, A License to Kill. I'd never met Dr. Robichaud. I do know he was murdered. It was listed as natural cause. No, it wasn't. So I wanted to go to EUGENE KAISER, though. He gave me that, the deposition from Jean Strokerman. And she was now working at Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor, one of the doctors I wrote about. Her name gets intertwined in all of this. You'd have to hear it. Anyway, she's working there now, and she's got a suit against the psychiatrist that raped her. And on Christmas Eve, and I don't know if it was 76, I believe it was, maybe 77. But anyway, she was working at Larry McDonald Piedmont Hospital, and she was working for, oh, it gets so ludicrous, psychiatrist Hardiman. Oh my God, and this gets, you'd have to hear it. Somebody comes in and kills her on Christmas Eve, blows her up against the Christmas tree on the wall, and she's dead. So it's almost like a little bit of what's going to happen to me. They put antifreeze in the April Fool Day of 80, and I thought it was because of the book. I found out later my real name and all that, and why it was all really done. And it's not been covered up. I've told it. The media knows it. But there was a gag order because I did not know the extent of what had been done to me. And I hope and pray that it's told. This man should be in prison for life. I will say this, when I was doing the book, before I did the book, this man said that he was threatening. If I did a book, he was threatening me. So he did it in psychobabble or cryptic. He said that he murdered Cindy, and I knew Cindy. I had met her briefly in his office. She had come out. She's a 12-year-old girl. He's a child psychiatrist, people. She came out of his office wearing like not aluminum, excuse me, a plastic wrap. She was really endowed, her breasts, 12-year-old girl. And her friend was sitting out there waiting on her who was about her age. The man had raped her. She started telling it, and he told me that he killed her. And also an Eastern Airline pilot, Eastern Airlines, I don't like to look back and see the hell, and all I've done is try to tell the truth. I have told the truth. And these people are living good. And the soul of the community, excuse me. But this was the other one that he said he murdered. He was threatening me. She was the Eastern Airlines stewardess. And I remember she was very petite, and he said something about her breasts overflowed out of her bra and some other stuff. And then he indicated he had raped her. Well, he killed her for telling about it, going out and telling about being raped. Her and Cindy were telling it. Now then, I want to go back to Kathy, who was, Gonzalez went to Tulane, and Kathy had been sent from Tulane. Her father was a mentor to Gonzalez when he was studying to be a doctor in psychiatry. Now then, this man should have known that he was a psychopath. He was diagnosed by Kenneth Dunn Reagan, a psychiatrist, who wrote some things for me, and they're under seal. And my attorney was EUGENE KAISER. I think it was 75, 76 when they went under seal. It was settled. Can you believe this? Because nobody would touch it for $18,000, which the attorney got half of it. Can you believe this? I hope you hear this whole mess of what's been done and happened. This man has gone on practicing child psychiatry. I don't know how many but I want to get to Kathy. I went there one night, and you should see what was done to me. I put this up on former tapes, videos, but I've got so many up. But I went there one afternoon. Well, it was getting dark, and I sat out there, and the lights were on. I walked up to the door, and it was after hours, and the door was open. I walked in. I could hear them giggling. Now, Kathy was sent up there by her father, and she worked with Gonzalez in Parkwood Hospital, Parkland is where Kennedy was taken, and he was there interning at Parkland. Then Parkland is was part of Parkwood. It's a conglomerate of mental health, and I don't know what now. They've grown so. But anyway, Kathy, I heard them giggling, and I went and opened the door, and there they were on the floor with his pants off and her clothes off, and he screamed, and he came out, and he started hitting me. She came out and said, "Don't hit her." I was in shock, really. But I realized now he could hypnotize or something, because when I went out the door, shoved out the door and shoved into the car, I was stiff. I couldn't get in the car. He shoved me in, and it's what happened later also that the world should see, all of it. This is just a part of my life because of who I am and what they could get away with doing to me. I was trying to tell the truth in the book, and then the results was antifreeze put in me, should have died back in